Greetings and welcome to Factorio. I'm Dgray, and today we continue our entry level to Megabase, where our main problem at the moment is not copper, iron or steel anymore. It is pretty much a lack of oil, and before we get that, pretty much most of our system is starting to grind to a halt. So this episode we'll spend the first part of it grabbing a bit of oil. We have some stuck under some of our solar fields, and we have some all the way over here to the west. So let's get those hooked up. I think that will be the best solution. So right now I think the easiest way to expand down this way is just to do it with a bit of solar, and then we will of course connect up the lake, as we have seen what happens if we forget to do something as simple as that. So let's get this down and some radars in. That should make it possible to queue up the rest of our little area here. So firstly, let's just mark out how big we want it. I think this might be good enough. They are both marked out, and then we'll have to do it with the rest up here as well. As we're doing with our little lake up here, let's do it in steps. So we'll take these first and then expand over gradually as we go. If we don't do that, this entire thing will run into a power issue quite quickly. So let's remember to keep that powered. While I'm at it, let's just continue up over here, so we sometime in the future don't have to worry about that part. That's going to queue a ton of our robots. While that is going, we could start to also beacon this part a small amount. Right now it doesn't really have any. It has some speed, but it's pretty much a throughput right now that's holding us back. So let's just grab a blueprint of a beacon. Oh, a blueprint of a beacon. What's it called? Yeah, beacon pretty much. And let's start to place it down once a few places around here, just to increase the speed a bit. If we hit it exactly correctly, it's not that important. At least not for me at the moment. I just want to get a bit more speed out of what we have. Let's see if we can get him to hit 2 at a time. That would at least be good. So that should increase the speed a bit on these. And yeah, hopefully they all have power. They probably don't. So let's see. You'll need a bit of power. You have power all the way around here. And that should be good. Next thing, let's start to clear up this little area. We'll have to remove these 2 solar fields. Not the end of the world. We should have enough power for it to run a bit. And that's why we can do... Let's get you away and get this one away, and then just place down some normal ones here just to keep it in place. There we are. That means we'll have to do the same around this one just to finish the connection, and then we can hook up all of this oil in a little bit. So continuing down, more solar panels right here. Where's the blueprints? That's the one I'm looking for. There we are. And right here, and let's hope we don't stamp over any of the fields. They are down here, and that's the ones I'm going for together with these. So let's remove this one in the middle. I think that will be wise in terms of getting things running. We should have things going all the way around, so that'll just give us a massive hole in the middle here. But since it's oil, it's not that big of a deal. There we go. So let's place down some pumps and connect them all up. Ooh, let's do them with speed in already. That would be a bit easier to manage. And we might as well to have them beaconed for the future, so we don't have to tear them up. So let's steal this one. and go over to our new oil field. So here we are. Please all get hooked up. Let's just turn you all the same way for now, or almost. There we go. Is that all the oil fields? There's one right here. That should be all of them hooked up. That's what it looks like at least. So to place down some pipe to connect it up, seems in the middle of the night is not the best time to do it. You two can just go away for now. And let's get this connected up. It's nice that you can do it by ear. Does make it a bit easier to work with. And let's hook up these. Though it does look a bit dark once in a while if we don't get some light over here. There we go. And you can go in, down, and that should be all of them hooked up. So let's get some power in. Let's just get this one. Could take a bit of light as well, just so we can see what's going on. I think that could be a good way of doing this. That's power for those. Power here, there, and there. Then we need to power these up here as well. Luckily, that should be easy enough. There we are. So the last thing we need is just to go over here, steal this little part. Let's just take as many barrels as we had before. I think that would be most wise. Can we fit it in right here? Oh, we can. That is perfect. So let's do that. Just to get some oil flowing again. Luckily, it's quite easy to do with the robots. They'll just kinda mind their own business and connect everything up for us. So continuing down over here towards, oh, that didn't get placed down, towards the next part down here. That should as well be quite easily done. There we go. And go out here as well. And then let's connect up our water right here. See, here we are. Good, and that will enable the rest of this to be built as well, and then we can continue to expand over. Luckily, the bots will go in a line a bit like this, so before we get these, we should miss, what's it called, or lake by a small amount, at least until we have the rest built. This is slowly starting to come alive. Oil is flowing. Just have to check my connections. We have two here we don't really need. Let's just remove them. But other than that, it seems things are connecting up correctly. So that is perfect. Here comes all the beacon. Oh, the modules. So that is perfect. While I'm in the main base, there's one thing I actually want to do. And that is increase our storage a bit in terms of solar. So instead of having one, we'll have 3. The reason for this is that when I start to place them down, I want to get them down. And then when I'm not doing anything, we can just have these running, slowly collecting materials. So that will make sure we have storage of 3 times as many solar panels. Since that is pretty much always what we're missing for some strange reason. Should also beacon this at some point, but before we do that, I just want to do one other thing down here at our beacons. And that's also increase how many we store of our productivity modules. Let's go to 3 times as many. The production speed should be the same, but we'll store more. And that is good, because I know we're gonna start to expand this out quite heavily. So that's gonna reawaken the base, we're probably still lacking crude oil, but some of this should start to help a bit in that regard. Oh yeah, let's remember our logistic network so it can actually work. We could put it in. It should be right here if we want to fit it right in the middle. But we can just put it right here and get what we need. Had forgotten about that. So that'll hook that up. This should slowly be expanding down. Solar more. And that's actually a good thing to remember is when you do these expansions, always do it with solar. Because there's a quite big chance that you'll need the power anyway. So instead of doing, like we're doing in here, expansion with just normal ones, doing it with solar, with make sure that we also have the power for the future. Let's get the rest of this connected up. I was in the fog war before. So that is looking quite good. We could actually start most of these as well, since we have on the opposite sides. So what if we just do that one? This one is connected up. We can start over here as well. Just getting as much as we can. And the next one. And over here as well. I didn't get mad that much, but at least it gives a bit. So landfill coming in, filling up our things so we can start to expand out. We're almost also at this oil field, meaning we can get more oil in and make our base run a bit smoother than it is at the moment. It's always a race against time getting all the things we need. So how is this looking? We'll have to increase our accumulators as well. We'll have to fix our little thing there. And one thing I actually think we should go and do is go down to our oil refineries and add in some productivity to those. I think that would be very nice. Just going to keep 100 on me at a time. It seems that has been what we are needing once in a while. Same with 50 beacons. So that is good. That gives us enough for future production. So these are the ones I kind of want to give some modules. Because to save on the amount of oil they need, I think that is the best way to do it. Just gonna run down there. We are somewhat quick. Could take my car. We haven't had that out in a while. But let's just run through our solar grid. It's been a while since we moved outside our base, and looks like this is gonna tax our power all the things we're doing even. But that is fine. Oh, this can also be beaconed. I'd completely forgotten about you. Oh well, that is fine. So here goes all of the productivity modules. And all of these. Could also do it in the ones in the middle, but let's just save our crude oil first. How many is on the way? Another 100 is on the way, so that is completely fine. We will get what we need. So looking at this, we are actually right at the edge of the next oil. Can't fit in a solar grid, so let's skip that for now. And just give ourselves a normal one. Yeah, so that should be good in terms of covering this oil. Of course, I'll have to remove all of this in the middle one more time. No need to keep it around. Let's get the trees away as well, so we can actually see what's going on down here. There we are. And let's get just one around here that can connect up the things. So right there should be good. Hopefully that will connect up to whatever we need. And just adding a bit of power will make things work as intended. There we are. Blueprints, again, from the air, making it very, very easy to set up. There we go. A bit of pipe. And let's get the rest of this connected up. There we are. And then just a bit of power. Might have to move them a bit if we want to beacon this in the future. There we go. And then we just need this little part. Let's go over here again and place that one down. Can it fit in here again? Oh, we are so lucky once in a while that the things just kind of fits. So that should be all we need for this little outpost to get up and running, because this one is connecting up to that one. So that should give us the power we need. Let's just get a bit more solar down so we can see what's going on in this part of the base. How's it looking in terms of landfill? Quite good. So let's continue fixing that. Miss a single lamp out there, but that should be fine for now. And there we go. So that's looking mighty fine. We're slowly starting to get some production from here to there. If these can keep up, we should be able to stack up oil now that we have what's it called? Oh, we can actually beacon them right there with at least one, or some of them at least. If we move this over one, we can as well. But hopefully now that we have modules in most of them, they'll start to build up the oil. And then we can start to save some oil and actually just expand this out if we have a surplus of oil. Which it does look like is the case at the moment. I know oil is going to be one of the annoying things to manage in the future. So we could probably do some... what's called some landfill. Not landfill, sorry. Some liquefaction when we get to a later stage. But right now, let's just start with the barrels and move things around, even though it's long distance. That is completely fine. Power-wise, we can only get about halfway up in the day when we have a lot of robots moving cargo around. Pretty much all the landfill that's going to take quite a lot of robots to get working. So right now, advanced circuit's going to lack. That is completely as expected. We're making a ton of robots. We are pretty much just spending resources at a nice rate. And before plastic catches up, there won't be much we can do about it. So if we look at our plastic production, all that's needed should be the petroleum. And that is correct. Just gonna check here. It has enough water, it has enough oil. So it's pretty much just our production cycle that's too slow. But then again, we did use productivity in all of it. So what if we add a few beacons to this build? Will that increase the speed a small amount? Could add one here, but that's not gonna do what I want anyway. What about down here? We can't fit in any. So let's just do 2 beacons right here for now, and just see how that that affects our system. Landfill is going strong right here. Let's give it some additional roboports to keep it occupied. And then things are looking quite good. We are expanding out at a nice rate. We are also getting more and more land covered up here. Continuing to cover the lake with roboports. So we can continue to expand without having to worry about that in the future. There we are. This one's gonna get put down or constructed in just a minute. So that is looking mighty fine. Should we then add in one more of this setup? We do have enough oil stacking up. Let's see. Crude oil, yep, we do have enough. So I kind of want to expand out one more of these, or maybe a few more of these to get things flowing again. So let's just try that. Please take you. And just do 2 more or 3 more of these just to see how it works. Yeah, let's do 3. It shouldn't be that bad, and it'll just construct itself. There's nothing I have to do now. We pretty much just doubled our oil production refining capacity. So that is actually not too bad. Could add some beacons up here as well to increase the speed of all of them. That might not be a bad idea. But let's just get this built first and things flowing. Look at those guys working. Such good little robots. So let's continue here. There should be enough room to place down at least the roboports to continue over to the next area. And there we go. And then we can probably soon fill in the rest of this. At least it is quite close to being at that point. That can be fit in. And the rest will get done soon enough. So how many robots do we have in there? We have only 17,000 plus a few thousand construction ones. That's actually not bad. That's way better than I thought. But then again, our power is still lacking, but that doesn't really matter to me, to be honest. It is not the end of the world. Missing underground pipes. Is that because we are crafting them in a slow way right here? That is most certainly the reason why. So let's just increase this a bit. It is getting enough in, it's just too slow. Luckily I have a solution for most things. You can just make a whole chest. I don't want to run out of pipe. So I don't think we need it that often. But still, just to be sure. Oh. And you can go up to get 100. This has been increased. So that is pretty much just the input right now. That's lacking. So let's do that. I don't want something as simple, something we can solve as simple as this. Slowing down our production of vital infrastructure. You can also just get a chest. I don't think we'll need that much, but when we start to expand in the future, I'd rather that we have more than enough to never worry about it. And at this point, things like that is not really that expensive. How are you going? You are using petroleum, so you should probably start to tear maybe this down and just let this one run. You're not running because you don't have any water, so that's actually a really good idea for you to have that. Even though this one can't output water fast enough. So what if we give you some speed? That goes a bit faster than it did before. And hopefully this can keep up with how much it needs. Doesn't look like we have enough, but that should make sure all of these runs. Can we give you some productivity? We can. And then we have more sulfuric acid being produced. At least this one should hopefully keep up now. I kind of want to tear this old setup down. But it is working, so I can't really complain about it as a backup for now. And water barrels is starting to lag as well. But then again, empty barrels is lacking, and that's because we have a lot in transit and a lot being put around the place. So maybe we should start to buffer a bit more than 100 or 300 at a time. Just keep, so we have 5,000. That is not too bad. Then again, it'll just keep working for a little while. We can't fill up that many, but it will help us a bit. And some. There we go. A bit faster. We could put in some speed, but let's wait with that for a little bit. 100. So as you can see, once in a while you just have to tweak how much you're producing of things, since, yeah, it does change all the time. So we'll just leave it at that. Did the oil over here get up and running? It looks like that's the case. So that is very good. That has been covered. Let's see, can we do the next part here as well? We could, lucky us. And then we're only a few ones off before we're at the point we want to be at. Could actually start from this side as well. So going from both sides of the lake. Get the radar in. Radar in. Just to get a bit of coverage, and then we'll put the rest down afterwards. So yeah, that is looking good. We are collecting a ton of landfill. But then again, we do have 25k, and that is why I did double production. But this is looking good. I've been talking with some of you guys as well about your base, and how many of you have kept it going completely with solar at this point. I love doing it because I need to expand out and see what's in the world anyway. Just doing that with solar makes it look quite nice, and a way to cover the water in checkerboards style. I think that is quite good. Let's just fix you as well right here. But I am enjoying that I've put up the challenge to only do it with solar. So yeah, everything's running now. We still have surplus everything except... Oh, is plastic? No, plastic is still lacking. Did these get built? They did, so they are starting to work. They are requesting in oil. Might have an issue with only one flying them in. Might have to get a second one or add a buffer chest. I think that is quite apparent at this stage, that we will need a buffer chest for crude oil. So let's just make... Oh, we can actually just add it onto this one. That would be the same solution. So what if we do just this, then we'll have room for a few more. Here as well. Oh wait, that is building up. Oh, there's no needs. I was just looking to see if the oil actually built up, and it does build up because of the way where things are flowing. So that's actually completely fine. Should we add in some speed to increase things a bit? Yeah, let's do that. And we can do this on both sides, to be honest, just to get the top one here running as fast as possible. So let's just copy this part, put it into each of the areas over here. Luckily, it's as easy as this to do. Should be able to do it down here as well. Just getting in some more speed for these, and over here at the starter ones we can do almost as many. So that added speed beacons to all of this, that should increase the speed of this quite a bit, and hopefully output a bit more products, because yeah, we are lacking it quite a bit. We might also need to beacon all of this in the future to make things run. Let's see here. Did I put that in correctly up here? Right there. And let's just put that in the other places. There we are. You can get one. You can get one here, and the last one's up here. That misses that one. So that will give it a bit more of beacon speed. We might have to in the future add some to our light oil as well. But for now, this is looking exactly as I wanted. So hopefully this will give us enough plastic force by the next episode. That is at least the plan. So before we end, let's just do what we always do, a massive expansion to get even more inside our network. Wait, then we can go solar down here if we want to. What's that? That means we can just do a little landfill. Oh, it's already landfilled, so that's good. And then let's expand out with some solar. Let's just do it up here, where we also need to cover the lake quite soon. Solar. Where are you at? There you are. Let's just give ourselves a few here. A bit over to the coal. We don't want to stamp over that. There we are. That's iron. We can't get it right there without interfering with anything. And let's get some more down here so we can go to the last oil patch. Not that we need it just yet, but we will in a little while. So here we go. I'm just going to check before we stop how many solar panels we have now. How many solar panels we have, and that is probably going to be quite a bit. But yeah, that is perfect. So I'll end the episode here. Let's just take our solar panels. We are close to 100k now. So that is actually very nice. Our power still can't handle that we're moving things. But in a steady state, we have more than enough power. And that is what I'm looking for. So thank you so much for watching, guys. Hopefully you'll give me a like and subscribe. And then I will see you in the next episode. Bye.